Hey guys, welcome back to our Laptop Trader channel on YouTube. Again, my name is Philip. I just want to give you guys a quick market update here. We're getting towards the end of August, and I just want to share with you a little bit about relative strength, relative weakness that I see right now in the market. Again, any questions, comments, my email is laptoptraderphil@gmail.com. Again, to share this channel, use @laptoptrader on YouTube. This video is for information only and should not be considered investing advice. Caution, trade at your own risk. Most stock traders lose money, so please protect yourself at all times. Any stock suggestions are up to you to decide if that is appropriate for you. Good luck. God bless. Let's get right to some charts. This will be about a 10-minute video just to demonstrate to you guys that you can get a feel for the market as to how things are working in the current market environment. So I hope this video is very helpful to you in that manner. So let's get on with some relative strength. So I just made a quick list of stocks. August 26 focus. I think there's less than 20 stocks in here. But first we'll look at these charts and we'll be able to see. So here's the Qs, right? Here's the Qs general uptrend on a monthly chart. Okay. And then the SPY general uptrend on the monthly chart. Okay, so that's the overall market context. Those are the two main benchmarks we use, the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Then if we go to a daily chart, okay, we could see that on the Qs, we've had a little bit of weakness here recently, even though price is kind of hanging around the short and medium term moving average. Last week we had this gap down in the Qs, and it's kind of been trailing off ever since. And here on Monday, the Qs were down about 1%. So when the Qs are down 1%, that's generally a fairly decent sell-off overall in the market, 1% or higher. And the SPY was down today, slightly down 0.29% today. Again, the overall longer-term context is bullish, but short-term, there's a little bit of fear in the markets, okay? When we look at some of these stocks within the market, we can get a feel for some stuff that's a little bit stronger right now. These are not recommendations or suggestions. I just want you guys to get the idea of relative strength and weakness. So everything I'm going to show you now is going to be a little bit of strength. Not necessarily the time to buy, but just so you guys can get the idea. So here we had an earnings report. This stock gapped down, went through this corrective period through price and time, had another earnings report. And then a few days after that, this stock gapped up big time, over 20%. Since that time, has kind of drifted higher, just made a new high today. So in the context of the market was slightly down today. This stock actually just made a new high. So that's an example of relative strength. All of these will be similar to that. Kronos, similar deal within that same industry. New high today, up 3%. Tilray company within that same industry did not make a new high today. Still kind of a bottoming pattern, down 2.48%, but part of that same industry, cannabis industry. Duolingo. This stock has been written off as irrelevant, yet customers continue to come back for Duolingo. Today up about 0.5% when the market was down. I really like this gap up here. Another gap up to a new high, and this has consolidated this gains in this very tight range here over the last 4 days. So that's something I definitely look for. That looks really good. Uber up today about 0.6%. Made this nice move up after earnings, consolidated the gains, and now has formed a new tighter range to the right side of the chart there. So Uber looks pretty good going forward, especially if it gets over this previous high of 80.83. So Uber over 80.83 looks very strong over that point. Now Uber's disappointed before, and it is a bit of a volatile stock, but Uber's a very fundamentally pretty strong company. Etsy company had a great day, up over 7% in a day when the market was down. So Etsy, so it's showing some relative strength. Healthcare has been pretty bullish this month. This is a small company, MD, Pediatrics Medical, up slightly today, even though this bar is red. It was still up slightly today because it made a higher high and a higher low. It closed red, but it was up higher versus the previous day. So don't always let the colors of the bars fool you. You have to look at the chart and interpret the chart correctly. NASDAQ company showing some relative strength to its peers and to the market, up 0.58%. New high 3 days ago, consolidating these gains in this fairly tight range up here. Gilead within the health and biotech space. Nice move up here this month. Gap up, sideways gap up, and then another gap up to a new daily high, and has been consolidating for the last 4 days. So relative strength there on Gilead. Overall, again, the healthcare sector, bullish uptrend. Circle Internet Group, not super strong today, but starting to show a little bit of strength here, moving up the right side of the chart. Again, another gap up in the last 2 days. Very tight price action over the last 2 days. That could kind of go either way, so that's a bit of a watch for that one. Tron Company, a little bit of relative strength, up 1.5% today. Yesterday had huge volume, over 9 million shares, so that's a watch on that one. Ring Central has been showing some pretty good strength over the last month, up slightly today, so that is still consolidating the gains over this strong move on earnings. On earnings, this stock moved over 25%, so that looks good. Netflix, which has been in a pretty good downtrend, gapped down on earnings, but since that time has had a pretty nice recovery, pretty slow and steady recovery. Looks like accumulation to me by large institutions. Last 3 days, pretty tight area there. So I like Netflix in general going forward, but it has been in a downtrend, so a little bit of caution with that too. This is like a metal company, Sigma Lithium Corp. Not a lot of strength, more of a bottoming pattern, but up 2% today, so a little bit of a strength versus the market today. GitLab has been a pretty good winner for me, up just under 1% today. Move up, consolidating these gains over the last month. Ardagh Metal Packaging, similar, new high a week ago, consolidated these gains. Did not have any really relative strength today, but overall still in uptrend. DHT Holdings, kind of back and forth on this one. Made a new high yesterday, but then kind of gave it back today. If it can get over this area, over probably $20.50, I like that going forward. Porch Group has had some relative strength, just kind of holding on these gains here as the markets pull back a little bit. Five9, I think it's a retail company, stopped me out. Nice move up after earnings here, over about 20%. It's been sideways for 2 weeks, so if that could show some sort of maybe like look for a breakout on that, would be a possible play on Five9. New Holdings, a bit of a buy setup here where we have this gap up after earnings, new high, pull back, and it's kind of starting to make this turn here. Had a good day today, up over 1%. Corsair Gaming was strong here after earnings, up over 35%, but has since kind of pulled back. So I'm looking for this to make this turn here. I do currently hold this stock. Slightly down day, not as weak as the market. If it turns up here, maybe if we got some sort of igniting bar or a bottoming tail bar over here, that could be a possibility going forward. Still, overall an uptrend. So I like that company. That is a holding of mine. IDAI look good. It's looking more and more like these AI stocks are going to be selling off here. This looked good. Now it's made kind of this double top, new high back here. Could make a new high, and now today was down 4%. So that was a little bit of relative weakness. So let's get to the other list here. So that'll give you some kind of maybe some ideas of what I'm looking for. Now here's a list of stuff that I believe is underperforming over the same period of time. So again, we'll look at the market chart real quick. Again, overall the SPY in an overall uptrend, and same with the Qs on a monthly chart. But when we look inside of these indexes, again, this is just repeat. When we look inside a lower time frame like a daily chart, we can see again the SPY was down at 8.29%, made a weak new high last week, and has been selling off here this week. Qs, again, same story, down 1% today. And then we just start getting a feel for the market. Again, IDAI down 4% today, so that's weaker than the market. Green Plains down 7.8% today. I believe that's an alternative energy company. IREN, which was I believe this was a big, big winner last year, down almost 5% today. Excuse me, the weather's changing here. Baidu in an overall downtrend, and even though it's in a downtrend, still down 1% today with the market. So Baidu, just hasn't had any strength over the last 3 months. So that's when I would not be interested at all at this time. I'll still watch it, but right now it just doesn't fit my plan. Fastly company looked pretty good recently, but over the last week, does not look good. Today it's down 8% in a day. Intel Corp, one of the major semiconductor companies, down 3% today. Trading below all the moving averages now. Lunar Company down 9% today. That's like a space machine stock. So that is looked okay there after earnings, but now it's been selling off over the last week. Satellogic, another space company, down 7.69% in a day. Firefly Aerospace down 5%, over 5% in a day. Wolf, which is I believe a semiconductor company, pretty bad downtrend since it made a new high, and doesn't look like it's going to turn around anytime soon. Down 1% today. Here's another space company, down over 6% in a day. Chronoscale Holdings down over 5% today. This one doesn't look as bad, but again, when stocks are selling off in general, and then this one's, the market's down 1%, or the Qs are down 1%, and this is down 5%. That concerns me. That does this have any real possibility of going up over the next week or two? And it's looking more and more like not. Oceanarian, this one I do have a holding in, but I bought this a long time ago. Again, down 4.79% in a day. Still in an uptrend, but a weak day like that can really question, does this have the strength to continue this uptrend? So we'll find out over the next few days. Core Scientific, I believe this is in the quantum or AI space. Pretty bad downtrend over the last month or two, and down again today, 3%, over 3%. IonQ, another quantum company, down over 8% in a day. Helios Technologies down almost 3% in a day. That's looking more and more for sure in a downtrend there on the daily chart. D-Wave Quantum down over 8% in a day. Not looking good. Rigetti, which I believe is another quantum company, down 8.6% in a day. Rackspace down over 6%, downtrend, trading below all the moving averages. Ouster down almost 7% in a day. Again, trading near that longer term moving average. Now, any of these stocks could flip up and could change course too over the next week or two, but it's looking more and more like a weaker and weaker market for these tech companies. Unusual Machines down 10%, over 10% in a day, even though it just made a new high last week, so that doesn't look good. SoundHound AI company down 4% in a day after having what looked to be a nice gap up there and a green bar after earnings. And finally, Quantinuum, another quantum company, down 8%. So money is flowing out of these quantum stocks, AI stocks right now, and into other areas of the market like healthcare, metals, and other stuff like that. So that will conclude this video. I hope that is helpful to you. I hope that demonstrates relative strength, relative weakness, and getting a feel for the market as to what is moving right now, whether that's positive or negative. And hopefully that information gives you some confidence, and hopefully you're able to take that information, maybe look at some stocks you own or wish to own, and using charts you can get some more confidence and try to put the odds in your favor. So we'll conclude with that. I will conclude with again my email. If you have any questions, laptoptraderphil@gmail.com. If you found this info helpful, share this channel at Laptop Trader on YouTube. Thanks, and I'll see you guys in September. Bye now.